Hey folks! Welcome back to the Alt Talk, where we help you speak with confidence and live English every day. If you ever wondered to what degree should I learn a local language when I live abroad, this video is for you. Whether you're planning to move to an English-speaking country or have already made the leap, today we'll talk about the balance between fluency and survival, and how much you really need to learn to thrive in your new environment. Now, let's get real for a second. If you move to any country, you'll quickly realize that language is essential for getting by. From ordering food at a restaurant to making friends, language plays a huge part in your day-to-day life. But here's the big question. How much of the language do you actually need to know to live comfortably? Is it enough to know basic phrases, or do you need to become fully fluent? Let's break it down. Here's the thing. You don't need to be fluent to survive in a foreign country, but you do need to understand enough to meet your needs. So, for example, if you're moving to an English-speaking country, for example, let's say America, the language will be everywhere, at the store, at work, on public transport, everywhere. So let's look at what levels of language skills will actually help you out in different situations. So let's break it down by everyday scenarios. Number one, social situations. Well, to make friends or chat with locals, having basic conversational skills will go a long way. You don't need to be fluent, but you should know how to introduce yourself, ask questions, and engage in a small talk. If you can ask, for example, how are you, or what's your favorite movie, you'll start building connections with those people and make friends. Situation number two, work and career. Well, for work, especially if you want to be, for example, be in a professional environment or advanced level, you'll need a higher level of language skills, as you might know. You should know how to communicate clearly, understand meetings, and contribute to discussions. But here's the good news. You don't need to be perfect, just confident and clear. Number three, everyday survival. For everyday tasks like shopping, taking public transport, or going to the doctor, basic phrases can get you through. The goal here is to understand enough to ask for help, understand instructions, and not get lost in the process. Think of it like your survival English. You don't need to be fluent, just functional. You need to just do yourself what you want, you know what I mean? So, how much should you really focus on learning a language when living abroad? Honestly, it depends on your goals. Here's my advice. Number one would be set realistic expectations. You don't need to become fluent overnight. Set a small, achievable goals like learning essential phrases first. If you need to ask for directions or order food, get comfortable with those basic phrases. Number two, prioritize what you need to know. So focus on the language skills that will help you in your specific situations. So for example, if you're just moving for work, focus on professional English. Or if you're there for travel, focus on basics. For example, getting around, order food, meeting people, going shopping, and blah blah. So it depends on your goal, they differ. Know your goal. In the previous video, I already told you how to set your goals. So my third advice would be consistent. Practice consistently, even if it's just a few minutes each day. Language learning isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Use language apps, watch local TV, YouTube channels, anything, and try to speak whenever you can. Again, in the previous video, I told you, speaking is very important. Now, let's get into some practical tips on how to improve your language skills while living abroad. First off, surround yourself with the language. Listen to local music, watch TV shows, or follow influencers who speak the language. This will help you get a feel for everyday speech and expressions. Speak. Just speak. Even if you make mistakes, don't be afraid. Practice speaking with locals. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become. And don't wait until you're fluent to start speaking. Just dive in. The fluency will come after that. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. And last but not least, use technology to your advantage. Use language learning apps like Duolingo, Babbel, anything that you feel connected with to build your vocabulary and comprehension. You can also use language exchange apps to practice with just native speakers. It's all about staying engaged with the language and practicing speaking, as I mentioned before. So, to wrap up, you don't need to become fluent to live abroad, but you do need to know enough to get by and make connections. Start small, be consistent, and focus on what matters most of your day-to-day life. And remember, the more you immerse yourself, the better you'll get. Have you moved abroad or are you planning to? Let me know in the comments below what language challenges you faced or what goals you have for learning the local language. Remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more language learning tips, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you next time on L Talk. Let's live English and enjoy that confidence.